Good evening, good evening, good evening. My name is Tasha M. Dyer, and this is the BYOB, Be Your Own Bank Power Start Call. That is what this is, BYOB Power Start Call. Now, what this call is designed to do, it is designed to help you create distribution centers. It's designed to help you create ATMs. My name is Tasha M. Dyer, and I am your facilitator for this evening. My background is I have been a financial advisor. I am a retired logistics officer. So I have seen the foreign exchange market. I know about the foreign exchange market, know that it works. But because you're on this call, the same way I am, I made the decision that I wanted to take advantage. I wanted to capitalize on both platforms, creating those distribution centers, creating those ATM machines, and capitalizing in residual income. So in order to do that, what you do and what you must do first is bring your mindset to the table, because you are in this life and you create your value. That is what happens, is you create your value. Now, as you create your value, we do not allow someone else to do that, because somebody's going to create your value. Understand and hear me clearly. Someone is going to create your value. The question is, are you going to create your value, or do you allow someone else to create that value for you? So it all begins with you. And everything begins with your mindset. That's what it is. Everything begins with your mindset. And that is how you become your own bank. So I ask you tonight, are you a millionaire? Are you wealthy? That's the first question. And I'm going to ask that question, and then I'm going to pause, because everything begins with mind over matter. So I'm going to ask that question, and I want you to answer that question honestly to yourself. And then I'm going to pause. Are you a millionaire? Are you wealthy? The answer to that question that you just gave yourself should have been yes. Not by looking at what's in your current bank account, not by looking at what is your current financial status, but the answer should have been yes, because it's mind over matter. You are a millionaire, and then you capitalize that and you increase that to billionaire. So because it's mind over matter. Now, how do we get there? Everything we do, see, you're on this call because you're creating those distribution centers. And in order to achieve the success, in order to have it, it all begins with the mindset. You think it, then you speak it, then you perform it. So we're going to start with the 5 mindset principles. 5 mindset principles. Now, the first one is your compelling why. Understand that your compelling why is your cause. Your compelling why is your reason. Your compelling why is your purpose. See, if I was to ask you, what is your compelling why? If I was to ask you, what is your purpose? See, everyone has one. And you can't give me something generic like, oh, it's financial freedom. You cannot give me something generic like, I want to leave a legacy. See, everybody wants to do that exact same thing. You know, every single person wants to do that. But my question to you is, what does that mean to you? What is your purpose for being here? What is the reason why you're on this call? What compels you and moves you into action? What gets your heart beating? What are you passionate about? Because everybody has a why. Everybody has something that compels them. Everybody has something that will make them go just a little bit harder. Everybody has that. And that is what you have to have. That is what moves you. It brings you to tears. See, that's what a compelling why is. And in order to be successful, you have to have that, because that compelling why, you're going to overlook everything else because you know where you're going and why you're going there. And then number 2 is your burning desire. Make sure you're writing these down. Number 2 is your burning desire. A burning desire is a necessity for success. A burning desire is the fuel that burns on the inside of you. A burning desire is something that churns in you because that's what's going to get you to overcome obstacles. That's what a burning desire is. See, I heard a quote that said, you've got to want success as bad as you want to breathe. You've got to want success as bad as you want to breathe. Now, don't just hear it. I want you to feel that. I want you to understand that. I want that to live inside of you. Because if I took your breath away, if you could not breathe, if you submerged yourself in water right now, you would fight. You will fight to the end to get that breath. There would be nothing and no one that could stop you. Not no amount of sleep, not a TV show, not anything, not the media, not Facebook, not what somebody says, not what somebody thinks, not what something didn't work for somebody else before. There would be absolutely nothing that would stop you, not somebody's feelings. Nothing will stop you from getting where you have to go, because that breath is your compelling why. Because remember, that compelling why is what's inside of you. That compelling why is what's moving you. And that burning desire is what's pushing you toward it. So if my compelling why is my breath, my burning desire is what's going to get me there. So you have to have that fuel that's burning within inside of yourself in order to take you where you're trying to go. And number 3 is your commitment. Your commitment is non-negotiable. That commitment, your loyalty, your dedication to you. Are you committed to yourself? See, so often we're committed to everything else. We're committed to our jobs. We're committed to people. We're committed to everything. But are you committed to yourself? Are you committed to you? See, it's a reason why when you get on the airplane, that mask that drops down, and they say you must put that mask on yourself before you try to save someone else. Embrace that. Understand that applies to life too, not just the airplane ride. That applies to life too, because we get so caught up in trying to do everything for everyone else. We get so caught up in commitments. We commit ourselves. We overcommit ourselves. But and then when it comes to the commitment to us, we're tired. We're wore out. But see, you have to shift that, because in order to honor those commitments to other people, in order to honor commitments to anything else that we have out there, we have to commit to ourselves. We have to go all out for us. So you have to go all out for you. So in order to be the bank, in order to be your own bank, you have to go all out for yourself. And that's the commitment that you must have. Number 4 is being coachable. Being coachable. Now, this is important because we're trained. We have been trained since we were children. We have been indoctrinated since we were a child. And we are on a schedule. We go to school, we get good grades, we go to college, and we get one of those good jobs. And we're in this system and we're in this cycle. So now we are in an industry. We are doing something different that's going to give us results like we've never imagined. This is how you get to that billionaire status. This is what the 1%ers do. This is how we get to that status that makes us the elite. This is how we get to that status where we're different, because we've decided and we're doing something different. This is how we get there. But we get there by following the yellow brick road. We get there by doing what the coach told us to do. And if you look at what happens between an amateur and a professional, when you sit to the side and you see everyone that is a professional, they have a coach. Every professional has a coach. So it's not up to me to try to figure it out. It's not up to me to try to do what I want to do. Yes, I have talents. Yes, I made a decision. Yes, I have what it takes, because if I did not have those things, I would not be here. If you did not have those things, you would not be here. But even with that, you have a coach, and that coach is what takes that talent. The coach is the one that brings everything and pushes everything inside of you and makes you greater. That coach is the one that's going to push you to the next level. And that is why you have to be coachable, because it's time for you to excel, because it's time for you to elevate. You need the coach. If you look on the sideline on any sports team, if you look on the sideline of any performer, if you look on the sideline of anyone that is actually a professional, they have a coach. And all of these successful professional people have a coach. So you do not try to be teachable. Do not try to understand. It's just about execution. What did my coach say to do? What did he say? Teachable is me trying to understand. Teachable will cause me to miss an opportunity. Teachable will cause me to be stuck. Teachable will cause me to miss what happened. So I don't want to be teachable. I want to be coachable. I want to take this to the next level. I want to get where I have to go. I want to make sure that I'm coachable and I'm doing what it takes and what it requires. And number 5 is belief. It's belief. Belief is me believing in me. Belief is knowing that I got this. Belief is knowing that I can do all things. And belief is knowing that we have your best interest at heart. Do you believe in that? Now, you ever saw somebody and they were having a bad day and you're like, how are you doing? And they're like, oh, I'm great. I'm good. But you read right through it. You see right through it. See, that's what that belief is, because they don't believe they're doing great. They don't believe they're having a good day. And see, it's mind over matter. We're talking about mindset. So you have to believe. This is where your affirmations come in. This is where you have to change your thought process. You have to change the way you execute. I'm an expert trader. I am creating distribution centers. I am a billionaire. That is why I asked you that question in the very beginning. What do you believe to be true? What do you believe? That is so very important. So out of the 5 mindset principles, now what are they again? It is the compelling why. It is your burning desire. It is your commitment. It is being coachable. And it is your belief. You have to have all 5 in order to be successful. All 5. You cannot just have 1. You cannot even just have 4. You have to have all 5. That's what you have to have in order to be successful. Now, remember, I said think it, speak it, perform it. Think it, speak it, perform it. So what's next is our 5 verbal tools. 5 verbal tools. Number 1 is you want to relate to people. You want to relate to them. Now, I just said we all have the same parents, right? We all have those same parents. They told us, go to school, get good grades, go to college and get you one of those good jobs. See, we know it doesn't work. We know that our grandparents work at Walmart with the yellow highlighter. We know at retirement, people keep working. So we understand that retirement is a financial status and it's not an age, right? Because how many people do you know that collect Social Security and are still working because it's not enough? We know for a fact that this system doesn't work. Over Christmas, how many of our elderly people are delivering packages? Because that's the shopping season. We know that they work and they don't get to enjoy life in their elderly years. So the system and the cycle that we're in, we keep going through it, but it doesn't work. And the reason why we keep on this cycle is the same reason you used to be on the cycle, the same reason I used to be on the cycle, because we don't know something different and we don't know any better. So you have to be the one to let them know. You have to be the one to relate to them. And how do you do that? Through time, job, or money. Everyone is relatable through that. And you relate to them through their belief system. Now, if I have a lot of time on my hands, I probably don't have a job. And I don't have a lot of money. If I have a lot of time, I don't have a job and I don't have a lot of money. If I have a job, I still do not have a lot of time because that job takes all of my time. And then I don't have a lot of money because I'm not the business owner. The person that's taking all the risk, the person that steps out and does what's required to be successful on that billionaire status, guess what? They're only going to pay me enough to keep me there. And then if I have a lot of money, that person is spending all of their time making that money. So you want to know, how does that make them feel? You want to create some sort of shock value. You have to be, because you have to be the one to let them know. Because remember, at one time, at one point, you were them. That is how you have to relate to that. That is how you have to see that. At one point, you were them. So understand, we're not being sympathetic. We're not making excuses. See, with these calls, with your job, you get up, they give you your schedule one time. You're there. You have to commit to yourself. And you have to make a commitment that you're gonna make those distribution channels. You're going to do that. That means that until you can do this call, until you can present this call, you're on this call every Monday, because this is how you build your business. You need this information because this is what it takes, right? Because think about how much we've been engaged, how much has been pressed into us. I have a 4-year-old daughter, and that system that we're shocking out of these people, the system that we're relating to them through, it is being put in them time now. And it will be ingrained in them until she's an adult and out there on her own, because that is the system. So we have to relate to them. So we don't make excuses. You get that schedule one time. So you have to create the new habits. You have to be on this call. You have to make sure you're plugged into the leadership calls. You have to because you have to change your thinking. You have to change the way you execute. You have to make sure you're doing that. So you have to be plugged in. You're inviting guests. You're inviting them to the trading calls. You're doing that. That is how you do that. And then number 2 is you want to edify. You want to edify. Edify simply means to build up. That's what edify means. Now, edify the foreign exchange market. When you're having a conversation, the foreign exchange market has been around forever. It's 2019. The foreign exchange market has been around over 2,000 years. That means it's been around longer than any one of us. There is not much more that needs to be said. Our banks, our financial institutions, this is how they make money. There's not much more that needs to be said about the foreign exchange market. If I am comfortable putting my money in a bank, if I'm comfortable putting my money in a bank and I don't question it, my direct deposit goes into a financial institution. A financial institution takes that money, on my money, on their behalf, and they trade it in the foreign exchange market. They don't give me any of it. With that being said, that's all the edification the market needs. There is nothing to debate and nothing to discuss, because the market is the market and the market works. Now, the company, iMarkets Live, it's an educational platform. It is simply an educational platform. That is it. You are here to learn. It is an education. We have tools and resources that help you become profitable in the market. You enroll, you learn, and you profit. You have to commit to yourself. It's just that simple. You enroll, you learn, and you profit. So the company is an educational platform. It's no different than going to any online university. It's no different than you enrolling in your local community college. It's no different. So how you apply it, how you apply yourself is what you get out of it. Have you gone through the academy? That is what this is. So that's the edification. That's what this company is. And then the industry. Now, you're on this call because you're taking advantage of the best of both worlds. You're on this call because you're creating distribution centers. Now understand, distribution is where we're headed. We have just had a retail apocalypse. That is where we are right now. Now, what does that mean? Help me understand. Let's go back to Walmart. I can go back further, but I'm gonna just start with Walmart. Walmart literally changed the way distribution was done. Walmart, when they changed distribution and streamlined it and did what they did, stores shut down. When Walmart hit the scene, they did not adjust, they did not adapt, they did not overcome. Stores shut down. Then Amazon came. People still did not adjust, they did not adapt. And all of these stores, this retail apocalypse, all these stores that are shutting down right now, all these people that will no longer have a job, all these stores, this did not just happen overnight. The problem is they did not adapt and they did not adjust. So yes, you will have people that just don't get it and just don't see it. But the same way those stores shut down, they will eventually, by choice or by force, they will adapt and overcome. Because it is going to happen. So it's by choice or by force. Then Walmart, who changed distribution significantly, had to turn around and change the way they do business. So where are you at right now? Distribution, you're creating distribution centers. You are creating that. That is what you're on this call for. That is what you're building. That is what you're being coached to and coached through. It's to create that, because this is how we do business now. This is where we are. And you're on top of it. You are on top of it. And that is how you're going to get to that billionaire status. All you have to do is be plugged in and be coachable and do what it takes. And then you want to edify your business partners. You heard my introduction. The BYOB, be your own bank leadership. You have Mr. Gerald D. Rogers, the visionary behind the movement. He's been in investment banking. He owns a real estate company. So traditional business, very successful. Very, very successful. Owns a real estate company. Commercial real estate, mortgage lending, published author. And in this industry, he's built an organization of over 30,000 individuals. If you have the opportunity to be coached and mentored by this gentleman, if he's speaking, you're listening. If he says execute, you execute. That is following the yellow brick road. If he's done it, we're trying to do it. So that is what we do. We execute to get there. But that's our business partner. So if we're sharing this information and we're speaking to someone, that's the edification that you need to give them. That's the credibility of your business partners. You let them know who you're in business with. And then we have Dr. Craig Bythewood. Understand, doctor, PhD in finance and economics. PhD in finance and economics. Do not take lightly who these gentlemen are. Over 25 years experience. So he's been a CFO. He's been that person. He's been a consultant, and he's an educator. So he knows this like the back of his hands. And he's here he answers questions. He hosts a call called a Talk with the Finance Doctor. So not only should you not miss those calls, but you can invite your guests to these calls. And you want to edify them because this is who your business partners are. And then promoting. Number 3 is promoting. You want to promote because you control your attitude. You control what comes out of your mouth, and you control the frequency. See, what I have is not light. What I have is something serious. What I have will change your life. So when I'm speaking, I want to promote it just as such. Now, I'm a coffee drinker, and I don't know how many of you are. But when I think about Starbucks, and I think about what that gentleman was able to accomplish, it's all about how he promoted it. So when you're speaking, when you're sharing this information, when you're talking to somebody, do you promote the way he promoted Starbucks? Do you promote and share this information, especially with the edification of the type of business partners that we have with the BYOB leadership, the way he promoted Starbucks? Because I am a coffee drinker, and I don't leave my house. I don't do anything in the morning without that coffee. So if he can get people like myself to get completely dressed, get the children dressed, get out the house, fight traffic, get in line, pay some money, don't forget detour, and go to your place of employment or come back home, whatever it is you have to do, all for a cup of coffee that I could have made in my kitchen, is all in how you promote. It's all in how you promote. He's not the first person to sell coffee. He hasn't been the last person to sell coffee. But it's all in the promotion. It's all in the frequency. It's all in the attitude. It's all in how it came out of his mouth. So how is it coming out of your mouth? How are you promoting? How are you sharing? How are you saying? You control that. And then number 4 is fear of loss. See, we as a people, we're moved and motivated by feeling that we're going to lose something. It's just human nature. It's just human nature. We go to the doctor, we get a report. That's when we want to get healthy. Not before then. That is just the way that we live and we operate. That is how we do things as a people. So how are you sharing the fear of loss? See, I'm only working with a few people. I'm not begging anybody to chase me. I'm not begging anybody to with this opportunity, because I understand the dynamics of what it is. I understand the dynamics of what's in my hand. I understand how it changes financial status and lives. I understand how it changes legacies. See, that's the importance of that promotion. That's the importance of what it is. So when I ask you that fear of loss, yes, that's real. So you have to create that, see, because you're creating your board of directors. So who is on your board of directors? Who is on your team? Who are standing with you as you build and as you become a billionaire? Who is helping you get to that status? Because in order to get there, you have to create something. So who are you pouring into? And I'm selective with that. See, that is how you do the fear of loss. I'm selective in who I pour into, because it's got to be worth it. So because what I have is valuable. It's not for everybody. And then number 5 is vision talk. See, I've made a decision that I'm personally going to take 100 individuals personally over the next 60 months to a 7-figure earner. Personally, that's what I'm going to do. So if I'm going to take you to a 7-figure earner, my question is how many are you responsible and how many are you going to create? That's the question. Now, how do we do that? Give me a moment while I pull this PDF up. Excuse me. So this one-page PDF is how we create, how you become that billionaire. This one-page PDF. Now, this says step 1, step 2, step 3. Now, I want you to understand, you're going to do step 1 and step 2 and step 3. So you're doing these at the same time. And as we go through this, I want you to emphasize and I want you to remember the word commitment. I want you to remember those 5 mindset principles. I want you to remember those 5 mindset principles. And I want you to understand why you're here. That compelling why, that burning desire, that commitment, being coachable and belief. This system, this process, this is part of being coachable. See, this is the McDonald's is a complete system. You can walk into any McDonald's and it works and it operates because they have a complete system. This is a system. That means that as you create a distribution center, you don't always want to be the one to have to work it. So what you're creating is the foundation. That means that anybody will be able to fall into this and it works. So this is how we begin it. This is how you lay the foundation. And this is how you have a solid and strong platform. Your foundation. So number 1, we create your story. So you get enrolled. Now, you want to make sure the package that you want to have the tools. McDonald's doesn't say, okay, I don't have a fry machine. McDonald's doesn't say, okay, I'm not going to have a drive-through. They have all of the tools. So you want to make sure you have all of the tools to be able to operate your business successfully. As you enroll, you want to make sure you have all of the tools. Now, you want to do the basic. In your IML Academy, you want to do the basics, IML basics. You want to do the technical analysis. That is what you want to make sure that you get done. And then you want to make sure that you go to IML TV and do Forex 101 and Forex Basics. Forex 101 and Forex Basics. Okay? Very important. Now, mindset is also important. So BYOBforlife.net. Write that website down. BYOBforlife.net. Make sure you go sign up for your 21-day e-coaching subscription. 21-day e-coaching subscription. And you want to make sure when you do that, you also download a copy of this PDF. You definitely need it. Because what we're covering tonight, you want to be able to have a copy of it. You want to be able to reference it. You want to be able to make sure you look at it. And then number 2, you want to share your contacts. You want to share your story with your contacts. Now, what does that mean? That means that I get a sheet of paper and I write down 100 names. I get a sheet of paper and I write down 100 names. These names are not in my phone. Well, I get the names from my phone, from Facebook, from Twitter, from social media. I get the names from wherever I know people. But when I write that list out, I write it down on a sheet of paper. I'm not, oh, it's on my phone or, oh, it's over here. No, write it down on a sheet of paper. Do not try to remember it. Do not try to remember who you spoke to. Do not try to remember when you're supposed to call someone back. Do not try to do this from muscle memory. Write it down. This is part of coachability. You want to go to the next level? This is where it starts. And then you want to sort. You want to sort for people who want to learn a new skill and multiply their money. Where do we begin? We're going to begin with my 10 flat tire friends. What is a flat tire friend? A flat tire friend is someone that I can count on in an emergency. A flat tire friend is, if we can go to the movies, we can have a conversation about you becoming your own bank. If we can go to dinner and hang out, we can have a conversation about you becoming your own bank. If I just text you, we can have a conversation about you becoming your own bank. That's a 10 flat tire friend. And then I want to sort for the 25 most successful. Let me help you understand why. Successful people search for opportunity. Successful people see opportunity. Successful people make decisions. Successful people understand what it takes to reach the next level. They're not going to question. They're not going to look at it. They're not going to look at it and turn their nose up. They're going to look at it as long as you promote it correctly and you promote it and you believe. They're going to look at it and see the opportunity. They're going to look at it and understand the next level and the dynamics of where we are in this financial revolution, and they're going to get it. And you want to make those 10 flat tire friend calls, and then you want to reach out to those 25 most successful. And every day you want to strive for 5. You want to strive for 5. This is a 21-day game plan, the Platinum 600. It works. It's documented and it's proven. You talk to 5 people a day. You expose 5 individuals a day. In 21 days, you follow the system, you will be a Platinum 600. That means that you will be earning $600 a month residual income. Now, you don't have to let your minimum be your maximum, but that's what this is. So you can do more. You can do more, just don't do less. And then earn your money back. You're going to have your private business launch, your BYOB VIP launch. Your first one needs to be in 72 hours. Then another one is 7 and 14 days. But once again, do not allow your minimum to be your maximum. Now, we just talked about the change of business. So I'm going to talk to you about exposure. I told you to write a list of 100 names. But this example, I'm going to show you 40. How does that work? We've all gone to the mall. We've all gone somewhere. We've been in a store. Every last one of us has gone window shopping. Whether we said we were going window shopping or not, we've all done it. Every last one of us. You walked in the store and walked out and didn't purchase a thing. You walked in the store and looked at something. You walked past the store and looked at something and said, oh, that's nice. I'll come back and purchase that one day. You walked in the store, you touched on the item, and you walked out. That's foot traffic. Do you think that business owner is concerned about you and your foot traffic? Do you think that business owner gets emotionally tied to what you said or what you think? They don't care. You do not affect their bottom line. You have to have the mind of a CEO as you embark upon your journey. You have to have a mind of a CEO. Yes, you are exposing this information. You are exposing this to individuals that you know. However, you are a business owner and you have to have a mind of a CEO. So 40 people, I don't care. Foot traffic. You have some people, 20, you got some people that say, oh, I feel like I'm going to go window shopping today. 20 of them don't even show up. 20 of them never make it to the store. 20 of them don't go. 20 of them say they're going to go. Only 10 might show up. But guess what? Out of those 10, you end up with 5 that actually purchase something. It's the law of numbers. That's what it is. That's the mind of a CEO. The only thing that CEO cares about is the 5 that purchased. That's it. The 5 that purchased. Then those are the 5, the ones in green are the ones that will be on this call. Those are the ones that will be your board of directors. Those are the ones that will take this to the next level with you. But yes, out of the rest, you will get somebody that purchases an item. You will get the ones that want to enroll. You will get some that just want to learn. You will get some that want to be in profit. You will get those that want to enroll, learn, profit. That is what's going to happen. But remember, you're a CEO, so you want to control the outcome. You want to control the process. And that comes with Sam I Am. Sam I Am means I always schedule a meeting in a meeting. So every time I have a conversation, I'm in control. It's my business. I'm in control. So I tell you, you don't get my video if we don't have a time to follow up. So yes, you allow people to think they're making a decision, but when I tell you I'm gonna give you my video, we have a follow-up time scheduled before you get my video. So we can have that conversation. And then you give yourself a 9-month commitment to birth your business. I'm gonna give you a little bit more on that Sam I Am when we get to the bottom of this PDO. Now what's gonna happen? You're gonna enroll your first customer, then you're gonna enroll 3. And like I just said, you will become a Platinum 600. Now, you wanna make sure you're registered. You wanna make sure you're registered. Our next big international convention, the next big event is in September. It's the I Am convention in Texas. So we wanna make sure we're registered. But more importantly, in between the conventions is when the conventions is the spark. The conventions is the spark. That's for the customers and the ones on this call. That's for the customers and the ones creating distribution centers. So it's for everybody. But in between the convention is where the magic happens. Because this is where you grow. This is how you become your own bank. So that means that every Sunday night, without the post in the group, it's on your phone. You're on the leadership call at 8 o'clock. Nobody has to remind you because you're a CEO. On Monday nights, until you can deliver this call, until you can present this information, until you know how to share this information, until you know until you know how to, are you ready to accept the challenge to learn how to be your own bank? Until you know the follow-up questions, until you know how to get it right and get it done, this is where you have to be. Until you can present this information on Mondays at 9 p.m. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have our BYOB tools training. And then at 10 p.m., it's a talk with the finance doctor at Eastern Standard Time. Now, every last one of these calls, except the leadership call, are open to guests. Invite, get them out. Share this information. Invite. And then in Jacksonville, Florida, on the 20th of April, we have the Trade Expo. So we are taking this show on the road. We are exposing people. And in May, it's in Orlando. So we want to promote, we want to invite, we want to share it on your social media. We want to make sure we're using the hashtags. See, you're creating that every time you post, you want to make sure you're posting. This is the mind of a CEO. Are you posting the BYOB challenge? Hashtag BYOB. Are you posting hashtag? And are you posting you could be trading? Are you posting that? Take the pictures, post the information, create it. You have to create the attention. You are a business owner, the mind of a CEO. You have to do that. And then the books. Leaders are readers. Think and Grow Rich. The first thing that we gave out and the first thing that we said is you have to think it. You have to think it. So Think and Grow Rich. And then think it, speak it. How to win friends and influence people. And then Success on God's Terms. This book is co-authored by our coach and our mentor, and it's co-authored with his coach and mentor. So you definitely want to have this book because God is the foundation of everything that we do in the BYOB movement. Cash flow quadrant. We're going from working for our money to our money working for us. And then your first year in network marketing. Now, I'm quite sure on your job, there's a book, a manual, or there's something that you had to read before you could do anything. And a matter of fact, I know it was because even McDonald's has a university. So we always have a manual of something that we have to do before we could touch anything. And now we have our own business. That's our manual. Now, all 5 of these books are important, and they're in the order. So you want to start with Think and Grow Rich if you have not seen or read any of these books. Now, we're almost done. We're almost done. But I need you to pay attention to this bottom part because this is where the magic happens. This is where how you share the information. Are you ready to accept the challenge to learn how to be your own bank? They're either going to say yes or no. Yes or no. It's that simple, but that's always the question. Are you ready to accept the challenge to learn how to be your own bank? So, over the last 10 years, out of all the money that's flowed through your bank account, how much has your bank paid you for using your own money? It's 3 questions. And now I'm going to pause because I want you to think about it. Over the last 10 years, out of all the money that's flowed through your bank account, how much has your bank paid you for using your own money? Let them respond. How does that make you feel? Let them respond. If there was a way to learn the skill set that would teach you how to multiply your money the same way the banks do, would you take advantage of it? If they say yes, that's when you put them on the video. I don't just send them the video. I take them through the process. If they say no, God bless you. Have a wonderful day. I'm not here in a convincing mode. Remember, I got something special that changes lives. If I have to drag you to it, I got to drag you through. So they have to answer these questions right. It's just like a job interview. And then after they see it, this is important as well. How do you identify whether they just want to be a customer or they also want the residual income? They also want to create a distribution center. So based on what you just saw on the scale of 1 to 10, with 1 meaning you just want to accept the challenge to learn how to be your own bank, and 10 being you want to accept the challenge to be your own bank and build a business. You see how the answer 1 through 10 was you want to accept the challenge to be your own bank, but 10 adds the part and build a business. What is your number? They must give you a number. When they give you a number, 7 through 10 means that now they need the VIP call. Now they need the 3-way. Now, remember, you pass them. You are not the expert. We have experts. You are not the experts. If you remember that, you are not the experts. And because you know how to edify, because you know who your business partners are, because of that, you make sure you edify them properly and you get them on a 3-way call. Now, 1 through 6, they just want to be a customer and you enroll them. You enroll them. 7 through 10. So whether I'm putting them on a 3-way call directly or I'm putting them on my VIP call, this is wonderful. I'm so excited Because I'm fortunate enough to have a VIP call with my coach and mentor. You cannot miss this call. You must be on it. It is a VIP call, and I'm only allowed to invite a very select few people because the gentleman that will be on this call has been in investment banking. The gentleman that has been on this call has been very, very successful. The gentleman that has been on this, you want to edify. So they feel like if they miss it, they cannot miss it. You want to edify that call. You want to edify. Edification is so very important. And then you want to look at these expansion hubs. New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Philadelphia, Baltimore, DC, Atlanta, Houston, Tampa, Memphis, Miami. But the reality is where are you at? Because that's your expansion hub. Where do you know people? We are global. We're global. So all you have to do is promote. All you have to do is share. All you have to do is open your mouth. All you have to do is relate to people. All you have to do is give them that vision of where we're headed and where you're going. We are creating billionaires. We are creating billionaires. And what's happening right now is that 1 million families will be financially educated by the BYOB movement by March 28th, 2021. 1 million families. You are a part of that. 1 million families. Just imagine, and you're a part of that. So build your business, build your legacy. Create your distribution centers. Create your expansion hubs. Make sure that all that happens. Make sure that you share this information. Make sure and understand you've accepted the challenge. But now that you have this information, are you ready to accept the challenge to learn how to be your own bank? And are you ready to accept the challenge to build your distribution centers? Are you ready to go to the next level? Are you ready? Because that's where we're headed, to the next level. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You all have a wonderful and blessed evening, and this will officially conclude this call.